Hello everyone, this is Zach the Movie Fan. I'm just releasing a quick video to to talk about something that I've wanted to discuss since I found out this morning, and also to give give you guys an update on when I will get back to making videos. Let's start off with the update. By tomorrow I will see what my account looks like, and no matter what the amount, I am pretty sure I will be able to get a new laptop that can let me edit videos from the camcorder that I have. It also means that I won't have to use this piece of trash anymore for anything. Seriously, Chromebooks suck. Most useless computer ever. But yeah, so just please be a little bit more patient with me. And I promise that my next video will be something that I think a lot of people will enjoy. Anyway, with that said, let's talk about what I actually want to discuss. So, I woke up this morning, and like what I always do when I wake up, I'm not fully awake, so I spend some time waking up. I spend some time watching some stuff on YouTube until I'm ready to get going, and it's there that I find out some, honestly, sad news, at least to me. So today, it turns out that Rooster Teeth Studios, the same people that made Red vs. Blue, Camp, Nomad of Nowhere, and Ruby, has been shut down. After 21 years, Rooster Teeth is finally gone. Now, I want to get this out of the way right now. Yes, I am aware of some of the scummy things that higher-ups at Rooster Teeth have done. I don't know all the details, but I do know that some scummy things were going on from behind the scenes, yada yada. I don't care about that, okay? I don't care. I don't focus on that kind of news very often because I'm depressed enough as is. I don't need to listen to the companies that made some of my most favorite things of all time being dickheads to add to that pile. I'm aware that some scummy stuff happened, but I don't want to focus on that. I don't. I just want to focus on the fact that a company that has made some things that I really enjoyed, some things I grew up with back in middle school, is now gone. And just let me lament, please. And just please keep in mind, this is not a defense for what Rooster Teeth has done, or anything like that. I just want to look back on fond memories. So please be understanding and thank you. With that said, this sucks, man. It really sucks. Granted, it had been a long time coming with the quality of Rooster Teeth stuff, at least in terms of writing and characters, going down gradually over the years, with them not being very funny anymore, with them not putting out that many great stuff. I knew that it was inevitable that this would happen. But it still is really sad. It's really sad considering what it's done. Because despite some of the scummy stuff that Rooster Teeth has done in recent years, it's important to keep in mind that they did so much good as well. These guys Rooster Teeth had been around since pretty much the early days of YouTube, with Red vs. Blue, and it's honestly quite incredible that this company that was started by a bunch of people just saying some stupid shit over voice chat in Halo, became like one of the biggest animation YouTube channels on the platform. From Red versus Blue to Camp to my favorite, and I think a lot of people's favorite, Ruby. And don't get me wrong, everything else Rooster Teeth has made is good. Red versus Blue, I think like the first 6 or 7 seasons was gold. That show was phenomenal. And a lot of the jokes in that show still hold up and are pretty funny today. As for Camp and Nomad of Nowhere, I unfortunately have not had a chance to check those shows out, but I've heard pretty good things about both. But the one thing I love the most from Rooster Teeth, and what makes it so sad, is Ruby. I first discovered Ruby a very long time ago. All I can recall is that I was around middle school when I watched around middle school, yeah, I believe, when I first discovered Ruby. If you don't know, Ruby started off as an internet animated web series created by a man named Monty and it tells the story of 4 teenage girls, Ruby Rose, Wei Shni, Blake Belladonna, and Yang Xiaolon, who want to help their world, Remnant, by fighting evil monsters called Grimm, which hurt the innocent. So they decide to attend Beacon Academy, a school that teaches you how to hunt monsters. This show holds such a special place in my heart. I'm not gonna say Ruby was a masterpiece. It wasn't. But those first 3 seasons, even though they were far from perfect, they had so much heart and so much love and so much care and so much creativity and so many likable characters, to the point that you didn't care if they were doing the whole "there's a school for that" trope again, or they're doing this anime trope or doing that anime trope. You didn't care because the characters were that good. That's why I can't stand people saying, "Oh, originality is dead." Well, if we're going to play that card, what about The Godfather? That's based on a book. Are you going to call that unoriginal? In fact, 90% of movies out there, even back in the old days, were based on books. Originality is not dead. And even if it is as long as if it's still making good movies and shows, who gives a shit? So sorry. I'm sick of that. Whole bullshit. But yeah. I didn't care that Ruby used a lot of cliches. I loved this show, and I was not the only one. Ruby has gotten a huge fan base over the years, and for good reason. There's a lot of people that even still really like this series. As for me personally, I did eventually move on. I watched up until Volume 7, and after Volume 7, I was pretty much done, because nothing in the story was really gripping me anymore, and it was just starting to feel kind of empty and lifeless to me. It wasn't awful. It wasn't awful. Like, it's not Rise of Skywalker. It never got Rise of Skywalker bad, but it just felt empty. But yeah. Even then, I never hated Ruby. I really didn't. I could not hate it. I watched Ruby at a point in my life when it was a very dark point in my life, I'll just say. And a lot of the things that got me through it were movies, video games, and anime, actually. got me through those really harsh times in my life. And Ruby, and Ruby, while it may not while it may not be the best thing I watched during those years, it's still very important to me. It still was. And a lot of that is because all four of these main characters, for me personally, resembled a part. Almost every character, at least the main four, resembled a part of myself. I feel. Ru- uh, with Ru- with Ruby losing her mother mother, and blame and semi blaming herself for it and wanting to make her proud. Um, I mentioned this in my last video, but my dad committed suicide in 2015, so I felt a lot of the same way. White Weiss growing up from a verbally abusive household, or sometimes physically abusive. I also related to a lot. Blake feeling like an outcast and she doesn't belong, and Yang was pretty much everything I wish I was. Always happy and confident and wanting to help others. All four of the main characters reminded me of myself, and it was very happy because it reminded me that I'm not alone, and I'm very grateful for that. So I can never hate this show. I never could. Like, and even when the show was at its worst, it was never god awful. Say whatever you want about Ruby after Volume 3, but there were still good things in those later seasons. The animation felt like it got better with each and every season. The models gain a lot more fleshed out, looking a lot smoother. The fight scenes were always really damn good. If you dare this the fight with Yang and Blake fighting Adam, I swear to God, don't you dare admit that fight wasn't awesome. That fight was fucking amazing. And of course, the music by Casey Williams, and Casey Williams was always fucking fantastic. That's why I kept watching because even though Monty was gone, it still felt like there was enough people behind the scenes who did care for this show and cared for Monty's creation. Even even volume 8 or 9 in particular I've been thinking of watching because 9 looks like it has a lot of interesting things. Plus any story that tries to resemble Alice in Wonderland, I am immediately a fan of. Unless this is a Tim Burton film, but that's a video for another day. Your day is coming, Tim. Your day is coming. But yeah. I always felt this day would come, but now that's finally here, it's just really sad. Although this does beg the question, with Rooster Teeth finally gone, what will become of their shows? No one really knows for sure. Death Battle in particular, a series that was originally owned by Screw Attack, they might be able to head out on their own and do okay. I personally feel anyway. I hope they do. I really like Death Battle, and it's one of the few shows from Rooster Teeth that I feel is not dipped in quality. I actually on top of that, I actually really liked the last season a lot too. So I hope Rooster Teeth gets out of this unscathed. As for Ruby, I doubt it. I mean, with Rooster Teeth practically barely having any funds left to even make a volume 10, I think it's very unlikely. Granted, anything can happen, but I don't know. And even then, I think it just needs to end. I do appreciate, and I do want to say, I don't blame Ruby's decline in quality on any of the people that have worked on it, because I think that's a very shitty thing to do. Um, because because Monty's death really shook a lot, and it left a lot, and when you're trying to continue a series without the man behind the magic, it can be very easy to kind of lose sight of that heart that made it so good in the first place. And while Ruby has fallen into that trap, that's not something I blame anyone that worked on it. I'm sure everyone that worked on it really tried their best to make a lot of people happy. And at the end of the day, that's all we can do. We could just try our best. But yeah, I'm sure there are some people who are probably like good riddance due to some of the bullshit Rooster Teeth had done leading up to this point. But it's just such a damn shame to me to see such a place that started with so much heart, so much passion, just die out like this. It's so sad to see. Oh, and once you know it, it turns out it was Warner Brothers Discovery that came up with this decision too. Because of course it was them. Like, I mean, with Warner Brothers canning Coyote versus Acme saying that they want to go to mobile phone games due to how bad Suicide Squad Kills Justice League did, and now this. It's like Warner Brothers and Disney are in the Olympics of seeing how to majorly piss off people the most. But yeah, it's sad to see them go, but well, nothing lasts forever. And to take a lyric from one of my favorite Ruby songs. We can cry our lives away, but if they were here, they'd say, push forward, you must keep moving on. And I think that's the best thing that I can do. It's a shame that Rooster Teeth, Ruby, Red vs. Blue, all of them, it's a shame that they're gone. But that's life. Nothing lasts forever, and the best we could do is keep moving on. And that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, goodbye Rooster Teeth, goodbye Red vs. Blue, goodbye Ruby, and thank you for all the fond memories.